Now, President Zelenskyy spoke to us today and repeated his plea for the West to provide Ukraine with fighter jets to help carry on the fight back against Vladimir Putin's invading forces. So far, Russia, with its emphasis on ground troops and the use of missiles and artillery bombardments, has failed to stamp its superiority in the air over Ukraine. But as Emma discovered, Ukraine's own aerial assets on the front line rely heavily on older weapons like its Soviet-era battle helicopters.
They are fighting for every bit of land. Fighting from above to target Russian positions and force the front line back. Ukraine's air assault on the forces below is relentless. And so across eastern Ukraine, sortie after sortie seeks out Russian positions. To hold the ground, you need to hold the skies. Such is the battle in the east. Survival means fighting as close to that ground and as far from that sky as possible.
We have a very hard job, especially for us now is very dangerous on the east part of our country.
We were given access to the teams upon whom the air war rests. Without the defensive protection of more modern-day machines, the vulnerability is immense, and so they fly low and they fly fast. At times they're barely higher than the trees, but to go higher risks exposure to Russian attack. This past year has changed their ways. A learning curve under threat and constant pressure. Such is the ferocity of the fight in the east that these pilots are flying more in 2 weeks than they have in their entire 6 years of training. Battle and losses have honed their fighting style. No one will say how many crafts or people have been lost, but now they stay back and fire from afar.
If we have the long distance to enemy, we have a chance for life.
Have you lost friends?
Yes, yes, I have.
Many?
Yes, many. It's my, they were my best friends during 1 year.
Much of Ukraine's air power comes from Soviet times. The menaces of old battles back to work once more. They're modernising where they can, arming antiquated transport helicopters to attack, but it's far from a modern fighting force. That's why Ukraine won't stop requesting Western jets and helicopters. The pressure on the commander-in-chief to give those on the front line what they need to win their fight is evident. In the second year of this war, what can you do to speed up the supply of weaponry? And do you believe that the West will have a long-term commitment to supporting this country?
We need artillery. That's number one. We need the artillery systems. We need the ammunition, a lot of ammunition in order to stop Russia. We need aircrafts. It's not about, discussions or promises, but it's about training of our pilots and providing us with aircrafts.
In conflicts of old, there was a belief that losing the war in the air meant losing the war in its entirety. Time has not changed that belief here. They fight for these skies, knowing the battle above is for the land below. Emma Murphy, News at 10, Western Ukraine.